My name is Abraham. I come from a desert country, a place called Ur of the Chaldees. God spoke to me, told me to leave my country, told me He would make my descendants a great nation. They would be more numerous than the stars of the nighttime sky. But my wife, she could not have children, not even one. But year after year, we waited and hoped and believed for over 20 years. But Sarah, my wife, grew old. I grew old. And we were long past the time of having children. But then one day, when Sarah was 90 years old and I was 99, God kept His promise. He did a miracle. Our son Isaac was born. His name means laughter. And we were so full of joy as the son of promise was born. And we watched him grow into a young man. But then one day, God spoke to me again. He told me to take my son, this son of promise, into Mount Moriah and to sacrifice him on an altar. I couldn't believe that God would ask this of me. But I obeyed. And we began our journey, and sorrow pierced my heart. I'll never forget my son's words on that journey. He turned to me and he said, with such innocence and tenderness in his eyes, he said, "Father, we have the wood, we have the fire, but Father, where is the lamb for the sacrifice?" It was so hard to know how to answer him. But I told him, God Himself will provide the lamb for the sacrifice. And I arranged the wood around the altar. And I turned to Isaac. And I tied his hands. And I tied his feet. And I placed him on the altar. He never resisted. He never said a word. He simply submitted to his Father's plan. I grabbed my knife. I slowly raised my hand to the heavens, ready to take the life of my only son. And suddenly there was a voice from the mountain. "Abraham, Abraham, do not lay a hand on the boy, for I know you trust me completely, for you have not withheld your only son from me." I heard another sound, and I looked, and there, caught in the thicket, was a young ram. My son was spared. God had provided the sacrifice. Oh. As we walked home, with my arm around my son, my only son, I remember, although I didn't understand it completely at the time, I sensed that this was more than some test for me. It was a shadow of things to come, a shadow of another only begotten son, of another time when God Himself would again provide the lamb.